Hey guys, thanks for listening to More to the Story with me, Marquette Shepard. This week we are on press tour with the one and only Conan O'Brien to chat about the biggest night in Hollywood and his hilarious role in it. Take a listen.
I've hosted many award shows in my life. I hosted the Emmys twice. I believe I hosted the MTV Movie Awards. 9 times I hosted the Soul Train Awards. But the Oscars, it's the pinnacle. It's the one that you most look up to. It's the one you dream about hosting when you're a child. So it has great meaning for me to host the Oscars, as long as the pay is good. Looking into that.
That was the host of this year's Oscars, Conan O'Brien. And while he was joking about the Soul Train Awards, he says he's very serious about this job, using his many years of talk show hosting experience to bring it for the 97th Annual Academy Awards.
Biggest thing I've learned after all these years of hosting is that mistakes aren't mistakes. If something goes wrong, if there's a mishap of some kind, or if something strange happens, that's actually a gift. Go with it, acknowledge it, maybe have fun with it, hopefully have fun with it. I think that's a big misconception, is that you're hoping everything goes perfectly. I'm someone who hopes that things sometimes go a little off the rails, because that's where the real memorable moments happen, in late night television and on the Oscars. So I'm going to plan for some terrible, terrible mistakes.
And with that confidence, Conan also shared how he will look back on this year's show to determine whether or not it was a success.
My biggest goal is to enjoy the 9 hours of the Oscar telecast. And I just want to enjoy it. And I think it would be a shame to get the chance to host the Oscars and not have a good time. So I'll be medicated.
And by now, listeners, I'm sure you're thinking, I cannot take a word this man says seriously, and you shouldn't, including this next thing he says.
I do believe in my heart that one day I will win an Oscar. I really do. I'm not an actor, never been trained. I don't really aspire to make movies, but I know that I'm going to get an Oscar. Therapists call this a delusion, but I really think I'm going to get one. And I think it's going to happen sometime in the next 5 years. I'm getting an Oscar. And I'm probably not even going to be in any films, but I'm getting one. I plan to steal one.
Kids, don't try this at home. Grown-ups, you don't try it either. And just as a disclaimer for this podcast, I am not responsible for anything else Conan O'Brien says, including this.
I'm going to put my own unique stamp on this year's Oscars by showing America my body. People don't think of me particularly as a guy who works out, but I've been training relentlessly. So there'll be several moments in the Oscars where I'll be shirtless and oiled. And I think that's going to hurt the program incredibly. It's a terrible decision.
A terrible decision that will be streamed live worldwide for you to watch over and over and over again on Hulu. It also will be broadcast live on ABC. Let me know what you think after you watch the show in the comments section. Conan O'Brien is a pro, and he's been through a lot. This is an interesting year with the LA fires and political unrest going on all over the country. This is the time when artists show up and show out. So, I'm curious to see what you think of the 97th Annual Academy Awards this year and how artists reflect what's going on in society. Well, thanks again for listening to More to the Story with Marquette Shepard. Many thanks to the Academy and Disney, who owns ABC and Hulu, where the Oscars will be presented. If you enjoyed this show, and if you want to share it with a friend or support the show, all you have to do is like, rate, and/or review this program on your favorite podcasting app. That's either Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you stream your audio. Thanks again for listening to More to the Story. I'm Marquette Shepard, and make sure you come back next week for more.